Alright, so let's start our blackjack project. The real reason I do this blackjack project and the way I do it is because I always hear about students taking programming courses, not necessarily mine, but generally across the board. And when they come out, they'll say something really common which I've never quite grasped. They'll say, I understand how to read the code. I can look at a piece of code and understand what it's trying to do or telling me to do, but I don't really know how to write a program from scratch. So that's a real shame that you would go through a programming course and come out without that level of confidence, because I think that's really what it is. I think it's a confidence thing. So we're going to actually create something from scratch, beginning to end. I'm going to start it and you're going to finish it. So let's go ahead and set up our blackjack problem, or our blackjack project rather. Let's create a new ActionScript 3 project and go ahead and create a folder on your computer on which to store this. Obviously, if you're on PC, it'll look a little different than this, but that's okay. I'll call it Blackjack Project. Alright. Alright, so we're off to a fantastic start. Let's start thinking about what kinds of things we're going to need in order to make our Blackjack project a reality. So we know that we're going to need some graphics, we're going to need a table, we're going to need chips, we're going to need all that cool stuff. I'll kind of walk you through some of that, and really I want you to use your own graphics. So if you're graphically inclined, great. If you're not graphically inclined, that's okay. I'm going to kind of walk you through how to make some things in Photoshop in a different video. For the rest of this one, I want to kind of start to finish up the actual setup of the project. So we're going to get everything set up and then we're going to start writing our code. So we've got our blackjack.fla file. We need to start thinking about what kinds of class files we want. So we know we're automatically going to need a controller class that's going to run the game. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's create an ActionScript 3 file. And we'll just do our standard, let's go ahead and save this so we can make our package. So I'm going to make a package system. I'm going to call it, let's call it org RLC game 2341 blackjack. And I will save my script as blackjack.as. Okay, so let's take a look at what that looks like. In the folder view, I have a folder called Blackjack Project. That's where my FLA file is, my Flash file is, and then beneath that I have org RLC game 2341 blackjack, and then there's my blackjack.as file. So the majority of my code files are going to be in this blackjack class. Okay, let's think about what kinds of things we're going to need in our card game. So some of this we've already done in our match game project. I think it goes without saying that we're going to need a card class. So let's go ahead and save the card class in there. We'll just call it card. And I think too we're going to need a player. Alright, let's switch back over to our blackjack class. We're really just trying to get a lot of this set up. Since I've gone ahead and saved this down into a folder structure, Flash is going to automatically know that that is the package that we want it to be in. So that's kind of handy. And we know that our class is going to extend movie clip because this is our controller. So if I click movie clip, it should go ahead and import that for me, and it does. So make sure yours does that. Make sure yours imports flash.display.movie clip. If it doesn't, you need to go ahead and type that in there. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and make our constructor. Okay, go ahead and hit pause if you need to type the rest of this in. I'm kind of going to go fast because I know you can hit pause and rewind anytime you want to. So the next thing we want to do in way of setup is we want to go back to our Blackjack project, find properties, and we want to go ahead and set up the controller class that we just created. So it's org, RLC, game2341, Blackjack is the name of the package, and then Blackjack is also the name of the class. Okay, so it's COM game2341 Blackjack Blackjack, just like it is over here. Org RLC game2341 Blackjack, and then the name of the class is Blackjack. Okay, if I switch back, remember I should be able to hit this little pencil icon and it should open the Blackjack class. If it does that, then it's working correctly. Now would be a good time to save this, and let's try it and make sure it's working. Okay, and that's what we expect to see. So that's pretty much why I always do that in the constructor. I like to do that to make sure that the setup is what we think it should be. And in the next video, we'll work on the card class.